This Week in Action.
Damn. Good. Damn good.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
what other horror stories can come with this?
We love Tencent.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 34. Quick sound check. Daftily, say hello.
Hello, hello.
You sound good. Guilty, say hello.
Hey yo!
You sound perfect as well. Look at this. This is the first time ever I was streaming and we were able to transition to something different without me screwing it up. I did screw it up a little bit. The intro video didn't have audio, but it's pretty darn close.
It's fine. It's fine. It's close enough.
It's
Close
pretty darn close. Thank you all for coming to the first 90 minutes of the stream, watching me and Guilty playing some Act 4 Undecember. For the next hour, we are going to now chat about all things action RPGs. And as you could probably guess, we are going to start off this podcast with Undecember. Now, okay. We gotta get into the nitty gritty, okay?
What's that?
What is the nitty gritty?
The nitty gritty. Oh, Diablo Immortal, crappy mobile game ported to PC. Oh, Torchlight Infinite,
part.
mobile
Yeah,
game
yeah.
ported to PC. Oh, Undecember, another mobile game ported to PC. Okay, Daft.
Right.
Everyone's already heard Guilty talk for a little bit, so I'm gonna give it to you first.
Right?
Can a mobile game ported to PC be successful, be a fun game? What are your overall thoughts?
Can it? I think they can. I think it's a progressive thing. Like, it seems to it depends on the port completely for me. Like the UI, what you guys were talking about, those things are huge for me. So, as far as I've seen in Undecember, it's not like super cool, but it's not horrible either. As far as the port, there's some stuff like you say, moving things around that kind of gets me, but you get used to it quick enough in this game. But I don't know. I think they can. It just depends on the whole monetization, like everybody's talked about. That's kind of the crux these days. How are they going to monetize it? Is it free? Is it paid? Paid to play it. So I think yes, but it's not going to be a constant. There's going to be more failures than successes. It's just those companies that decide to be fair with monetization.
Before I turn it over to Guilty, is it fair to say, well, it's a mobile game ported to PC, so it sucks. It's going to be pay to win. The hell with it. Move on. Is that a fair assumption at this point?
Not really, because Torchlight Infinite doesn't seem to be that way.
But people think that about the game.
Well, that's I think there's a stigma that was brought on by Diablo Immortal,
Right.
where it was engineered specifically to get you addicted and pay money.
Wait a second.
doesn't mean
Daft,
every
what
game.
chair? What chair are you sitting on? What is that?
What
I've
do you
always
mean?
had that.
Is that a new
Had this
chair?
forever.
Have you?
No.
No,
Yeah, I've had this chair
it's the same chair he's always had.
All right. I thought you were upgrading. I thought you were upgrading on me for a second.
We are upgrading, but the house, not
Okay.
the region.
Okay. Sorry.
You saw a blue pillow and freaked out.
I was like, what is that? I've been looking at a Secret Lab Titan chair. So it's just fresh on my mind. So I saw your chair and then I immediately had to
Right.
interrupt Guilty. And now he lost his train of thought and he doesn't even know.
lumbar. No, I don't think I can. I don't think it's fair to say they're going to be bad until we know what they are.
Right. I mean, you got to give it. It's safe to assume it might be bad, right? That's where I'll sit. Like with this game,
Yeah.
it just keeps me. I don't think that this game's going to be the next game until it shows me. So I've put time into it. You guys are a little ahead. I would have a 17th level character if I didn't make 2. to
Right.
put that in perspective.
I have
but
three. I have three characters in the demo. I have three characters in the demo for Undecember.
You played a whole day before I did, so that was that first character. I got it the second day after you started.
We were a bit reluctant. I
Yeah.
honestly didn't want to play it until I saw the upgrading system. I just specifically for that system is why I played.
So in chat right
That's
now,
what I do.
in chat right now, somebody said mobile games by design are there for microtransactions, right?
Yes.
Has there ever been a RPG style mobile game that does not have a cash shop?
I can't say personally. I've played like
You know,
3, 4 tops.
But it's not so much the cash shop that's the issue. Like, I don't care if, like, for instance, I wouldn't want to work for free.
Right.
And if
I mean,
you're
you
playing a
have to make money.
game, like, if that's
Yeah,
free, it's like,
no. But that's what I'm saying is that have you ever played a mobile RPG of any kind that is no cash shop, but it's $30, you know, on the
Oh, no.
you know, iOS? Like, no, that would never happen. The game would be free to download, and then it would have a monetization mechanic to it, right?
I don't think you could sell a $30 game on mobile because
No.
of all the free offerings there are.
Right. I don't think, yeah, that wouldn't fly too well. I mean,
Okay,
I
listen.
don't know.
Torchlight Infinite says, hey, the cash shop is 100% cosmetic only. And we're going to try something different. And on iOS and Android, it'll have a $30 retail cost. And on PC through Steam, it'll have a $30 retail cost. What is all the content creators? What are all the streamers? What is everybody doing? They're gearing up for the global launch, right? No?
Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think it's going to do? Aaron, first, we're talking about Undecember. Where do you think it's going to sit?
I think it'll be
This
this.
whole monetization.
I think Undecember, not knowing, but feel like it will have the same shop as the Korean version, regardless of what they've said.
Of what they say. Oh, well, so if they make any change, technically it's a different shop and they wouldn't be lying.
That is true. Even
Yeah.
if it was visually different, right? Even if it just looked different.
The language script, right? We
Yeah, there it
changed-
is. There it is. That's different.
There's changes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant because, you know, it just seems like the thing. So you want the game to be cool. I haven't looked at the shop. Have you, Aaron? At the Korean shop?
No, I don't want to.
We'd have to ask Beard.
Yeah.
Beard was
Yeah.
involved.
I know.
No, Rotten Gamer in chat right now. So does pay to win
Yeah.
cash shop make a great game into a bad game?
Not necessarily. So the reason why,
Right.
in my opinion, because when I gave Diablo Immortal a 7, which was my average, like it's just for its gameplay, it's just average. What made it bad, in my opinion, was the fact that they engineered it to be extremely addicting. Not just your average, oh, we're talking like Candy Crush levels of addiction here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Which
The whole clicking buttons and constant
Candy
reward.
Crush made the parent company 3/4 of its money like in 1 year, just
I know.
off that one game. The parent company.
Right. I don't know. I think that's the game, the thing for this game though, and all mobile games get a port into PC. It's gonna be what is, how are they paying for it? Are they going the, Path of Exile route? Pretty fair. You could argue stash tabs, but people just play the game. They want to have things put at.
From looking
Maybe
at
racing that matters.
terminology, buttons that are in the game, little pluses and purchase and everything that I could see that I click on, and then I get a little box that pops up that says can't go to the cash shop because it's shut down for the demo,
right.
leads me to infer about what will be in the game. And when I heard that you can directly purchase the currency that you can use in the auction house, means that you can directly use cash to buy any item you want. And I gotta say, think about this for a second.
Yeah.
If I am playing Last Epoch and I am hunting day and night, spending hours of my life trying to find this Bastion of Honor shield, which everybody's trying to find,
Yes,
and after
we are.
night 3, you're so freaking frustrated because you can't find it, you are going to bust out that wallet, right? Because then some people would be like, screw it. My time is more valuable to me than the $5. And that's a hard one to say. No, I would never do that. I would keep grinding. And yeah, there would be those people. But I mean, in general,
jobs. There's people that would go and earn that stuff, and that's how they'd make their living. I mean, PoE.
Right. And then there's some people to say, well, I was the one that grinded, found those items in the world, and put them up for sale so that Daft could purchase them. So he is getting something he wants, and I am getting what I want, the price of the item. Everyone's happy, so who cares, right? So this is where the conversation kind of goes in circles. Like, what? Why
Rockin has something to say to this that's actually builds off of what you're saying.
Who is it?
Rockin. It's design progression bottlenecks that can be eliminated by cash shop transaction pisses him off, and I would agree. If you design the game specifically to that bottleneck to force people to buy stuff, that's where that's no gray area there. That's all the way over.
Yeah, all of a sudden everything's champed up a bit, super chatted, bosses, everything's harder. Well, if you do this, you can get through that, or you could grind away at it and get through it when you get through it. So yeah, there's that. I mean, the bottlenecking for me is probably the worst.
Kills the economy. Kills the economy, competitive leaderboards, and causes players to quit, not play. I have no issue with that, assuming they don't have leaderboards or PvP.
Yeah, I don't know if they're PvP in this game.
I mean, these are all good takes.
Yeah. So like the competitive nature of the game itself will dictate usually how much people care about the pay shop. Yeah. So how directly you're competitive, or if there's races like they have in Path of Exile, anything like that. But in this, if it's not, it's just purely patting yourself on the back points. You know, didn't somebody say that you can get all this currency in game? It's just slower, or is it one of the two? Like
you can get the red gems from some of the stuff, like clearing maps.
I did see that in Discord. Somebody were talking about it.
Yeah, so if there's no leaderboard and no PvP, then pay to win is irrelevant, right? Because you're not winning anything, right? There's nothing.
I would agree, Red Eye.
You know, who cares? Like, just play to have fun. If you want to have fun spending money that way, and I want to have fun going this route, it doesn't matter. What action RPG does not have a competitive ladder?
Well, I mean,
Grim Dawn didn't until the community.
They did the community one, yeah. So they added this seasons.
E2R is getting a new one.
I mean, is there a I mean, obviously you could go to older games, but like a current, more modern ARPG, none.
Because Last Epoch technically has the arena.
And Last Epoch will have a competitive ladder for multiple things. They want that, and they want racing, and they want a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. That is a
It's I don't know, but until I see, there are some things that are like reminding me of Diablo Immortal, like the little I was talking about, the flashy green lights instead of flashy red ones.
Yeah.
Those are kind of an indication of where it could go for me. I don't know. We'll see when it gets there. It could be somewhat reasonable.
But Undecember feels more Diablo Immortal than Torchlight does. You would agree with that?
Absolutely, hands down.
Yeah, Torchlight doesn't feel like Diablo Immortal. Undecember, you can see similarities as far as login bonuses and clicking on all these different things. Actually, no, Torchlight has that too. They have their hero traits or whatever it is, the journal entries. I guess that's in there too.
Well, the hero trait is just based off of what level you are.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but they've got those other things that like cascade left to right that you like, oh, you upgraded a gem, you get
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
You you can link 5 times, right, in that game?
Yes. Yeah.
Or
You got the
6.
main skill and then 5.
It's 5. It's
Yeah.
5. Well, 6 altogether, but yeah.
I know. But
Yeah,
the thing
that's
Undecember has is it has a lot of systems that kind of makes it a little more interesting. It's kind of like the Zodiac is Super Grim Dawn. I mean, it's pretty similar, except for you have 2 parts to it. You have like the
aesthetically.
yeah, it's very similar. But when it branches off, it's very different as far as how that works. So
Right. In a good way, though. I like them both.
Yeah. they're both good. I like it. I was saying about this game. Undecember has some nice kind of grabbing from other games kind of concepts and throwing them mishmash together. It works out.
Yeah. So we have a question. Aaron, reckon Undecember will have end game once Act 10 is finished. No homage to PoE. So, I mean, I'm sure I could Google it and find it in a second. From what I've been told, it will have Chaos Dungeons, it will have Guardian Raids, it will have PvP, it will have world events, it'll have boss fights, like Boss Rush. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton to do in end game. And right now in the Korean version of the game, there is 11 acts. Now, something that was brought up earlier, it was talking about the bottleneck of progression. And I actually do like, progression scaling as your character scales, right?
Right.
Act 1, super easy. Act 2, pretty easy. Act 3, okay, I died a few times to the boss. Act 4, we just died to the little boss, and we still got another 7 acts to maybe go through. And I heard every act gets really, really hard. And as you go through, you feel like you need to spend money in Undecember because your character is not strong enough. That would be a problem.
But you could grind a way to get your stuff. I guess it depends on how anxious you are to keep progressing.
Okay, Daft, think about this for a second.
Okay.
You don't have a community, so you don't have a friend to play with, okay?
Right.
You don't have a monolith to jump over to. You don't have a dungeon to skip the campaign. You're now at halfway through Act 6, and you cannot kill this mini boss. Where do you go to grind? You just farm the same area over and over again? You bust out the wallet.
I mean, yeah. There's,
right.
how... Yeah, that is, I guess, the crux. And for me, it would be, okay, well, I'll just start playing it a little less, play something else, come back to it. That's what it would do for me, because I wouldn't want to start paying out. So I would just kind of, drift away and play Last Epoch for a few weeks and then come back to it maybe and chip away. That's what I would personally do.
So far,
but you could, buy it too.
So far, the weakest part of Undecember, in my opinion, is gear.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It's pretty... I mean, it's there. It's pretty unimpactful.
Is it feeling. Is it there? I didn't get one unique.
That could be by design.
He's got one unique.
I've got
and then other
one.
people got multiple.
Yeah, you don't want to find it though. You're just gonna have to dump it in a few weeks.
No, you're right. They want you to buy it. Maybe.
That's the thing.
Possibly. Hopefully not.
I don't know.
That's
we'll
I found a website, CaptainCarry.com. It's called Undecember Endgame Pack. It's deprecated. You can't go to it anymore. But in the what I can see is there's a pack for $274.99 that was on there.
Well, that's the thing.
Now I don't know what it was. I don't know if it included a bunch of skins. I don't know if it's PoE style, but I can't go to it. Don't know what it is.
Coma. Well, I'll get to your question once we move over to Torchlight. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't move past this. Undecember.
That.
I don't even look at my gear most of the time. It probably is level 10 or 15 gear. I almost don't even care. Isn't that a huge, that's a big...
I kind of agree. On my mage that I'm running, I'm leveling my strength and my intelligence. So I'm doing 3-2, 3-2, 3 intelligence, 2 strength for each level. So I can wear, either gear with the, the mana shield type thing or just straight up armor. I don't know what's better. I'm just kind of like whatever is a better version of tabs, but I'm not kind of like.
Uh-oh. Daft, you went bye-bye at a very unfortunate time for yourself.
Is he miming?
He's not miming. He's not miming. Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back.
Lining him up, but I'm not having to deal with it. But
he was miming.
Oh, you're back, kind of. Now you're at a much better spot.
we're all, it's.
Wait, is it guilty too? Maybe it could be Discord. Everyone. No, you're good, guilty. You're working. Daft, say something. Say something, Blue. You can hear us. I know you can hear us. Everyone says in PoE you can't buy power, but there are sites in where you can, and PoE doesn't do anything about those sites. I don't think there's anything they can do about those sites, but I do know what you mean. You could just, buy items.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many questions in chat. I love it. Okay. Undecember. Daft, are you back? I can't tell if you're sitting still or not. Okay, you're good. Okay, good. Undecember, this is what I want to say. I feel like, even though I never played the Korean version, putting in these 20 hours, I have a pretty good idea about this game. Visuals, I'm going to give it a good. Maybe even a great sometimes. Like, sometimes the sounds that I hear, the voice acting, the shadows, the rain, the environments, I like the visuals. Unreal Engine 4, I think they did a really, really good job. Okay? So I'm going to say visuals are a good. I'm going to say combat feel. As far as you kill an enemy with fire, their corpse lays there burning on the ground. You shock them with lightning, they're shocked, right? Combat feel as far as actually feeling like your shots connect with the enemy and seeing the death animations, really, really good. I'm going to say that the skill system in the game, some would argue second to none. Like, they did an amazing job. Tons of customization, tons of options with the way it's honeycomb and linking things together. They basically said, hey, the PoE system is really, really good. How do we take that system and turn it into something that's our own? And I think they effectively did that. The passive tree. Everyone says Grim Dawn. It looks like Grim Dawn, even though it functions differently. But being able to pick different constellations in the zodiac and put your passives in, really, really good. And then even though it's in there, I have no idea how you get mastery points. I've only gotten one. Guilty, have you used your mastery point?
No, but I do have a one. Going back to their passive in Grim Dawn, you know how the individual you can socket a skill into said field to get a ability that happens, a percentage of the time. You think they're gonna do something like that with this later on in the tree?
They could.
Because typically early on you won't see it, but like on the outside of the constellations in Grim Dawn, there'd be some pretty, like the black blood of whatever it's called.
Well, constellations, the farther you get out, the more powerful they are.
Oh yeah.
Tori in chat just said you get those from crafting, mastery points. And then you have mastery points that I guess you get from crafting. So again, visuals, great job. Combat feel, great job. Character customization, great job. Even kind of character creator and how your character looks, pretty good job.
It's overall good, yeah.
It's overall.
Engwar's got a good take on it.
Undecember mechanically feels like a cross between Lost Ark and Wolcen.
Yeah.
That's about.
It's way smoother than Wolcen, though. I would say it's
not Wolcen in its current state. Wolcen's pretty smooth if you haven't played it recently. I'm not defending Wolcen. I don't know why I said that. Okay.
Yeah.
So really what Undecember is going to come down to is curve. So what is that progression curve looks like as you push past chapter 5 and the cash shop, right? Like, And I want to say one other thing. If it has that login daily to run my dailies end game system, which I think it might, that would kill the longevity for me personally. I know some people like that. I know some people want to get those rewards through, being good stewards of the game and logging in, but those games are not for me anymore. So, those are kind of my overall thoughts.
Right.
Game comes out on the 12th. That is correct.
Yes. So when are they dropping? Are we losing our characters? 11th?
10th.
The 2 days? All right.
We lose our characters for Undecember on the 10th.
So we have Torchlight Infinite. We've got Undecember. We have tomorrow. The new stuff for CT comes out.
Yes.
For Last Epoch.
I think they brought up a fun thing that's coming into it, so I'm excited about that.
It's very fun. Very fun thing.
Fun thing.
Yeah.
The CT is cool, guys. If you joined it, you should try to get in.
Yeah.
If you don't know what they're talking about, they're talking about Last Epoch multiplayer CT.
Yeah.
Multiplayer for Last Epoch tomorrow. Look what you did, Daft.
It's not.
Let me explain.
It's
No.
If you have signed up to be a community tester for Last Epoch, you can play multiplayer now. You're under NDA, so unfortunately you cannot discuss it. But
can't talk too much.
If you're part of the community tester program, which us three are a part of, you could play multiplayer now. And it's okay. I mean, I can announce it because they already announced it, but
you've already streamed it.
Inside of the CT community tester program starting tomorrow, I'm going to be able to do this to Guilty. Here you go. You can have this.
Yeah. The thing. I found this.
And you can have it.
Right.
Trading.
It's only been 5 years in the making.
No, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years.
Oh, they
be
designed
so
it for a
exciting.
year, I bet.
I cannot discuss or not discuss if I am or am not part of something. Exactly.
Perfect answer.
Need NDA lifted so bad. Dude, I'm telling you, the NDA is going to be lifted. I don't know when,
Sooner than later.
but it's going to be more on the sooner side.
It's a weird NDA because they've seen so much in what they've done with other streamers, so it's a weird one for sure.
The Ziz streamed it.
Yeah.
Like he showed a lot.
I am
They
going
streamed it
to
with him.
I am going to finish my Void Knight build guide, and then I will permanently switch over to CT only.
So we can play finally.
Finally switch over to permanent CT because I got to start building up my stuff because I'm scared I'm not going to have anything, and I'm having withdrawals from not having my Last Epoch stash. Okay, I can admit it.
So Daft and I have been playing and like, hey,
Yeah.
just put both builds on your machine. Please, for the love of God, just
Yeah.
use
You
the
can
drop down. And he's like, no, because his OCD kicks in and he's not
Sir,
capable of doing
You
it.
should be able to do that. It's real easy in Steam to just click other version.
You said Last Hero? Did I say Last Hero? I might have said Last Hero. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's fine.
Nice.
Action hero. What's up?
Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about for Undecember? Dropping October 12th. I feel pretty good. Lots to talk
Pretty good
about
about-
for the cash shop when it actually comes out on October 12th.
Right.
But does anybody want...
Right.
We talked about visuals. We talked about character customization. Multiplayer, it's kind of weird forming a party. Like me and Guilty were having some problems. But once you're in a party, it seems to function pretty well.
That's a UX issue. That's a phone UX issue. We were talking about that earlier. They need to have a actual UX overall.
I really like the be able to switch over to party mode so you only see your party in towns and stuff. That's really cool.
That's cool. I didn't get to see that yet. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
so there's two
didn't
buttons.
play.
And
Cool icons.
well, that's because you're too busy finding Makoko seeds.
No, sir. None
He
of that.
found those Makoko seeds.
He did find all the Makoko seeds. He could
I
change
did
his character into a Makoko seed.
I switched character about. I did the first character till about level 7, the archer type.
Yeah.
And then I did a second one that was. I tried to do a minion build. It didn't. I'm not. It's maybe I have the abyssal,
Yes.
the kind of like wraiths in Last Epoch, kind of like, oh wait, old school wraiths, or I guess current ones, but they have a death sentence kind of thing. So I use them. I got 2. I just kind of switched over the cold though.
So I could tell you that the abyssal minions, I found like four other of them. It's not a good sentence, but I found like bleed, poison, fire, cold.
Right.
So there's going to be like tons of versions of those. I call them zerglings. They're zerglings.
Yeah, basically. I mean, but I do like the whole system with the little skill system where you're linking them. That's really clever, and it forces you to kind of like try to like maximize your your links. So I do like that, but that's kind of like okay, now I'm hunting for this. I need at least 4 rings, and it's got to be the right colors, and so I mean, it's a little RNG. So
dude, it was pretty cool. Last night on stream, I was like, I need red and green, and I need the red here and the green there. First click.
Nice.
Nailed it. That was awesome last night.
So that's why it's like, I would say objectively the systems in the game are great, and the only thing that can really ruin it is the monetization system.
Yeah, I agree.
I know,
It
it's
looks,
what sucks.
It looks nice enough.
It is weird thinking about like I'm overly biased when it comes to new shiny action RPGs. I was a day 1 Wolcen player. I'm always gonna get it. I'm always gonna play it. And when people ask me about Undecember, it's like I am thoroughly enjoying my time playing it. And that's what makes Rotten Gamer so happy, because he's been telling me for a year straight, you're gonna love this game. A year straight he's been telling me I'm gonna love it.
It gave me the same vibes as the latest Torchlight, where I just liked it. It was fun to play. Different. They're very different games, and they're very, but they're just fun to play. Mechanically, everything just kind of seems to flow really well. So I don't know. Last Epoch has some competition. I think it's a different style of game.
I will say, playing a Torchlight Infinite and then playing Undecember and then switching over to a non-PC port action RPG. Honestly, they might as well be different genres. They feel very like you can tell instantly. So far, there has not been a single time in my life that a PC port has fooled me as not having a mobile game for it. Right?
So I think they did a good job. Railth? Yeah, maybe I'm pronouncing that right.
Railith?
Railith. Release a PC game first, then rip it and port it to mobile. They'd have to use low poly models because it's got to go on a phone.
It's got to go backwards.
And, but in this particular game, I mentioned it earlier, these low poly models look good, so it can be done.
So if you wanted to, so Guilty, help me out here, and I don't need like your crazy turn to page 4 answer, okay? But help me out here. If I wanted to make a game for PC that also simultaneously launched on Android and iOS, but I didn't want it to be a PC port, basically what I would be doing is making 2 games.
Right.
Is that correct?
You would be doing 2 builds, and each build would be optimized for whatever system it was going on.
But I mean, you're talking 2 UIs, you're talking 2 systems, 2 game engines, 2 everything.
Well, no, it's the same game engine. Like you can use the same game engine to do that, but you would the UX would certainly need to be different from the PC to the phone.
Right. And graphics, you'd have to have 2 teams basically on like the
way Nintendo handles it. In coding, you can actually put in, if on Nintendo Switch, use this code, and you won't have to like do too much different. And Unity allows you to make multiple builds fairly easily. So like modern game engines have made it easier, but you still need to like consider low poly models. Like I mentioned earlier, the UX is not going to be the same. So there's a lot that is different. You are making 2 different builds. Yeah.
But it's possible. It's just money.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, people have done it. Like...
Because you would think, even for Undecember, there is a there's a PC team and there's a mobile team, right? I mean, is that or no? I have no idea.
Maybe
There should be some
10 people on this team for all I know.
Right. It depends on but you ideally will have people on either side committed to that because they're going to specialize it and make it better. So if you're porting, the UI gets fixed up for the PC version so we can actually do all the things we're used to on PC where we're not clicking, click, 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 as opposed to escape bars and just things, you have so many keys in front of you used to, and it's kind of what separates, obviously a mobile game because everything's on your finger.
Your input.
It's the input's way different. So
I guess it's interesting for me that, for example, auto attack is in Undecember because obviously there's tons of auto attack and auto movement and different systems that you need for a phone. Why is it that they have to translate the stuff designed for the phone onto the PC? What?
Well, another game that has auto attack is Guild Wars 2, and possibly 1, I don't remember. But you can set certain attacks to auto attack.
So you're saying it's a feature more than just a port?
Yeah, it's you right click. I think you shift right click your key and it would auto do that. So you can do that in Guild Wars 2. I know that for a fact. Other games I've played, it's a numlock type thing where you just cycle your keys and it just does that. I don't know. I'm like a middle ground on it. Some things it's like, like for Last Epoch, the ghosts that go around you, there's not a skill based thing. You just have to keep hitting ghost, right? What are they, Aaron? The name of them.
I don't know.
You don't use them because you would use them typically as an unlock because otherwise I don't think you could hold it.
Wait, you're talking about Last Epoch?
I'm quickly, yeah.
None
of your builds have them. None of your builds you use them ever because the only effect.
Wandering Spirits.
It's Wandering Spirits. It's Wandering Spirits.
That's Thunder Sphinx. Thank you.
Yeah, the only effective way to use it really is just to put it on them because it's not a targeted skill. It's just keep them going because it's an aura. So for me, if you don't want that to be a numlock type thing, you just make it a push it and it just keeps casting.
Okay, one thing that I do like from a convenience standpoint is I am a fan of being able to set auto potion. I've actually enjoy that feature. Even if it's like, exactly 10%, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Click that potion. They had it for, wait, did they have it in Lost Ark? Did they have auto potion?
I don't remember, but I think it's a little bit touchy in Undecember. But Red Eye had a comment. He was talking about the UI, the UX being different. To an extent, he's right, where that would be the major difference. But certain particle systems, if they're too extreme, won't run on phone. Different optimizations would need to be had, but for the most part, it's easier to do that than make an entire new.
I've said this probably, without exaggeration, 20 times over the last 2 days streaming. It's hard to put into words because you have to feel it. If you went and played 20 hours straight of Undecember and then went and logged into Last Epoch or any modern PC ARPG, it feels different. Movement is different. It's smoother. It's instant response time. It feels like your mouse cursor is literally, your arm going out and doing what you say. Inside of Undecember, there's about a quarter second input lag on everything you do, and it's not like it's not like it's internet. It's not like it's performance related from your computer. It is something about the UI and the game that is just simply not. It's not instant. It's not snappy, And that was
could
the
be something as simple as execution order.
And that was the first thing I noticed. I'm literally on that thing that you're gonna shoot in the face, level 0, and I was trying to break a box, and you would throw something at the box and it hits it, and then it's like a quarter of a second, then the box explodes. And I was like, oh, that's weird. It's not like instantaneous. That's the whole game.
Yeah, it is noticeable. Like both of us noticed it.
Rich said the truth comes out. Aaron, auto potion sounds like cheating.
I mean, Rich,
Don't
I would
clip
agree
that.
with you.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
Don't clip.
That is 2 hours and 13 minutes in. Remember that, Mr. Daft.
Angwar says, I feel Undecember could be a great game as a filler in between LE and D4 cycles. Ooh, you know what? Maybe this is another topic we could talk about. Okay.
What's up?
Which ARPG, not MMO, which ARPG does not have seasons or cycles?
Nowadays,
Officially?
Mhm.
Grim Dawn.
Yeah, officially it's Grim Dawn, but we have the community.
Yeah, but everyone plays the community seasons.
Unfortunately, I
have not
am
played
on
it
it.
either.
I have not played it because I've been working. I've been doing channel work, and I've been hurricaning.
There is that whole
Vacationing.
hurricane with.
It went vacation, hurricane, channel work.
Yeah, that was quite the flip flop there.
Right? But what Angwar is saying is true. No, Lost Ark. I knew someone was going to say Lost Ark. And what's going to be my response?
It's an
Guilty.
MMO.
It's an MMO. It's an MMO.
Yeah.
It is an MMO. It is not an ARPG. You go play PoE. You have your league. You go play
Even
Last Epoch. You're going to go play your cycle. You go play Diablo. You're going to get your season. You go play Martyr. Warhammer. You're going to get your season. You go play Grim Dawn. You're going to go get your community seasons. You go play Torchlight. Infinite. You have seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Even Diablo
Torchlight
Immortal.
2 has a community patch, doesn't it?
I'm sure it does.
It should.
Diablo Immortal
See,
has seasons. But actually,
think
no, Diablo
most-
Immortal, I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal has seasons. Anyways, point
It's
being
not something.
that when it comes
Yeah,
to
they were on season 4 before we stopped making fun of them.
you could be playing a Last Epoch cycle. You finish the cycle. It's like, okay, I'm waiting for the next big thing. Let me jump over to Undecember where my character progression never resets and I could work on that character and play with friends. Cycle drops, you stop Undecember, and then you drop, you go back to the game. I could totally see that as a change of pace for sure.
Aaron, it's Diablo 1.
Diablo
answer is
1,
Diablo
Diablo
1.
2, Diablo 1 wasn't an ARPG. Now, what defines an ARPG?
Or
Our season. What defines an ARPG? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Isometric.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it's not
Hack and
isometric.
slash.
I don't think it's isometric.
Well, no, those things combined, the hack and slash and the isometric.
Okay,
Point and click
hack and
movement.
slash, isometric, gear hunting,
Skills with cooldown.
skills with cooldowns, passive skills, a general storyline
mhm.
to some degree. They're in there. Grim Dawn's probably got one of the better stories, I think, for me
It's got a
personally.
fantastic story. Makes a good
Vivin
movie.
is rating us with a party of 6. Hello, everybody from Viv's stream.
Evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Did I say good morning? Good evening.
You said,
Whatever.
said good evening.
I don't know. This is like my 100th
It
hour
Depends on where
streaming.
you are. Somebody could be. it could
That's
be in the
right. See,
morning.
I was saying good morning just in case there's somebody that's in the morning time. By the way, everybody,
Oh, yeah.
we do have an
Titan Quest.
active giveaway for tonight's stream. So as long as you're following this channel, type in -- into the chat.
Join that Discord.
Doesn't Undecember feel like one step away from Lost Ark? I
mean-
think that Undecember is very different than Lost Ark. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Lost Ark is more of an MMO.
Right.
And Undecember is clearly a phone ARPG.
It's not even. Hold on. Let me let me answer this question for a second, okay?
Go ahead.
ARPG versus MMO. Okay. Just the big, easy, overarching theme of the game. An MMO is open world. I can go here. I can go here. I could go fishing on the river for a little bit. I can go kick it in my friend's palace, you know? It is a open world where you can go sit in the bar and be a bard and play music and do whatever you want. It is more of you do what you think is fun, okay? An ARPG is a pathed experience. You start Act 1, Level 1, and you go through a story on a pathed experience, progressing your character, hunting gear, until you reach the end game, where then it opens up more.
You do that.
And then it opens up more. But they're true. Normally, an action RPG does need to have like a gear hunt kind of associated with it.
Yeah.
But Lost Ark, you know, you put on gear in Lost Ark, so I could see that. But really, for me,
the gear in Lost Ark was not like the gear in an ARPG.
No, of course not. Of course not.
You find like bases and then try to improve them heavily through the unfortunate fail system.
You're talking about honing. Right. Yeah, of course, honing. Yeah. So, you know, and there's a lot of other little nuance things like that. But ultimately, like that. That's for me. Lost Ark. I mean, I don't see a lot of similarities. Lost Ark to Undecember.
Aside from the cooldown skills and the isometric view, which is why people confuse the two.
That's true.
In the point and click.
Right. It's no direct similarities. I would just say the feel of the pacing of the game is kind of similar, but Lost Ark at some point just gets huge because it's a huge world with all the boats. You got to go all the different places. So in that aspect, Lost Ark's way bigger. That said, I have only gone so far in Undecember, so I don't know how expansive like the world is, but it does seem like you always come back to the guy who looks like you're playing Skyrim, talking to him.
We missed something for the MMO definition, Daft. What did we miss?
MMO? Constant players around you all the time, or could be because
skill rotation.
Well, skill rotations. Yeah, I mean that is
not so much in an ARPG, but definitely in an MMO.
Yeah, I agree. Some people though they like their piano player, style characters where they're constantly pushing buttons in a certain key.
Lost Ark was the gunslinger.
Right.
You're a jazz pianist.
Dude, yeah. Lost Ark.
I had the bard. Yeah, it was
Lost Ark. I'm in a boat sailing to this island. 2 minutes later, I'm on a stream fishing for goldfish. Then I'm in my hideout with some girl telling me that the merchant's there that I gotta buy crap from, and then I'm building a desk. Right. And then I'm running a chaos dungeon, and then Guilty's yelling at me because I'm too far behind and I need to go hone. And then I'm trying to find this mount. Then I come across this dancing group of people in town because for this hour we all have to dance together to get this reward. Yes,
public reward.
Yeah. Yes.
So
exactly.
I don't know if he's explaining to you a game or a South America trip where he dropped ayahuasca, but
exactly. An MMO like Lost Ark compared to Undecember are literally, I mean, there just could not be polar experiences or polar opposite experiences. Now, if the argument was it doesn't Undecember look like Lost Ark, I could kind of understand that. Kind of over the top VFX, isometric view. Both games are pretty, like large town hubs that have lots of people playing. From a visual appeal, that argument I can see. From a game mechanic, nada. None.
So Aaron.
Yes.
Question coming in from chat. What start now? Torchlight, Undecember. This is coming in from, Windy City number 9.
If today was October 12th and Torchlight Infinite dropped and Undecember dropped, I would be playing Torchlight.
Same here. But that's not to say that the mechanics in Undecember are bad.
No.
They are really good.
And there's also, but wait, before you go, I know the end game of Torchlight Infinite. I fully know the monetization system. I know the studio. I know a
Right.
community of players that are going to play it. I even know what
Right.
my end game build is going to be. So just
Yeah.
experience and knowledge tells me that I'm going to go with the game I know instead of the question mark. Okay, Daft, go.
I'd say the same thing. I've played Torchlight 1, 2, and 3, and then Infinite, so I'm gonna go to the same thing where that feels like the more comfortable thing. I'm more familiar with the entire just universe of the game itself. They've all been pretty good, -3, which felt a little weak.
And 3 just didn't do it. 3 didn't push anything, right? It was just an
That's not-
average,
no,
regular, it's
It
just.
it just felt kind of normal. It felt uninspired. It felt fun. I mean, it had its moments, but ultimately it just kind of fell flat for me personally. So
Okay,
I had very little time.
hold on. I'm going to.
Eric,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
We got a chat, or we got a question. Best MMO ever? And obviously, this is an opinion-based question.
Right.
Guilty, go first. Your best MMO ever, in your opinion.
I'm not an MMO guy, but I hate saying this because I don't like Blizzard, but World
Wow.
of Warcraft.
Okay, World of Warcraft. That's fine. Daft.
Dark Age Camelot. That was my favorite for me personally.
Okay.
As far as, like,
And I am going to go with Star Wars Galaxies.
I mean, Star Trek Online.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. It just depends. Like, a lot of it depends on, like, for me, Dark Age. It's an aged game, so there's probably some people here who know about it, but it was super fun, and we used Ventrilo as far as like the way we communicated back then. It was a whole era. Like, I played with one of my best friends who lived in a little bungalow we have in our backyard. So there's this whole, like, for me, it's more personally cool and connected. We had a guild together, so, but mechanically it was fun. The whole RVR thing was cool, and then doing like running, it just had this fun world vibe that it's super dated now, but back then it was super fun.
So the person that asked the question, Floor Waxer, responded with, hell yes, Star Wars Galaxies was so good till Sony took over. So basically the person that asked the question agrees with me and not you guys. That's all I'm trying to say. Sorry,
That's fine.
go on.
I mean, a lot
No,
of people
I'm just
don't
kidding.
like World of Warcraft. My MMOs are World of Warcraft, Star Trek Online, and Lost Ark. No, and Eve. And then Star Wars.
Dude, Galaxies, OG Galaxies was remake that game. So awesome. Actually, it's funny. I'd probably log in now and be like, dude, this game sucks. Like, what happened? That's what always
That's what I
happens.
mean. That's what I mean by it's there's a time and space for some of these games to exist. Right now, they would seem trash or just super dated. So that's kind of thing. I also played WoW, like beta through, what was the expansion? Last one I did, right before the Wraith one.
Yeah, Tab Target's good. Red Eye.
It was fun. It got kind of stale though. But I mean, MMOs are a hard thing to land because they're to make this like open world, like kind of like amusement park game where you have like this kind of stuff to do or this kind of stuff to do. It's all got to be interesting. It's all got to work, and the community has to be able to interact well for an MMO. So I don't know. I've only played like 6 or 7 MMOs where I actually put tons of time into them. So
Okay. Let me answer this because I've answered the question so many times, and I just want everyone to understand. Pay to win has lots of definitions. Is there a singular pay to win system inside of Torchlight Infinite? Yes. During the CBT 3 for Torchlight Infinite, you had to pay money for auto pickup. You had to pay money for auction tabs. You had to pay money for hero traits, and you had to pay money for pets. Okay. And the community was outraged.
Random.
I was outraged. I made a video. Lots of people made videos. Okay. Based upon the community outrage, hero traits will now be for everybody. They're going to be giving you a lot more free auction spaces so you don't have to pay for them. They are moving auto pickup to the free battle pass, and they might reel in the cost of the pet system. Now, let me explain. Because everyone's like, oh, Aaron's shilling for Torchlight. Oh, he's always shilling for Torchlight. It's always, I get that. No. I literally get that 100 times. Okay.
Oh, no.
They seem to be kind of reacting a bit to
yes.
What the
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Diablo Immortal, the worst monetization game in the history of my life. The CEO came out and said, we stand by. The game director came out and said, we stand by with our decision for the monetization. After all the outrage on Diablo Immortal, the game director said, we stand by it. Torchlight Infinite took the community's feedback and made a change. Literally, when was the last time you actually heard a studio doing that? They also hired David Brevik, who was one of the creators of Diablo 1 and 2, to help them with the future of the game. XD is trying to take Torchlight Infinite, hopefully into that Blizzard North. Okay?
To add to that...
and I have more to say, but go Guilty. Go ahead.
Everything they've done with us, they ask us questions, they give us hints as to what they want. They're very, very active. Unlike, other games that I can't really... Torchlight Crew seems to be, they care about what they've made, and they are doing what they can to make fans accept it.
That
seems
I agree.
Fair.
It seems fair. Yeah.
Right now,
just get different types of devs.
Yeah. I mean, we have. No, there's a large community playing right now online through Steam, and like I can't think of another game where I sat on Discord and did a build with people or just talked about builds. Torchlight Infinite was that. We had 10 people talking about how to build Commander. It was about 2 weeks ago, Daft? A week and a half?
Yeah.
I don't get up in the middle of the night and talk about builds in Last Epoch. No offense, Aaron. But we were building Commander builds.
Yeah, that's true.
But, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Does that mean that the loan system that is still in the game is good? No, of course it's not good. It's a gacha system. They are going the pay-to-win route that you would see inside of like a Genshin Impact, okay? And even though when you see Genshin Impact, people love that game. I mean, that game is so popular, okay? But
I played it a long time ago. It was fun. I just didn't catch on to it.
But let me be clear, okay?
Yeah,
I've been talking to XD directly. I've had to fill out surveys. I've had direct conversations with them over voice chat because they want to get my community's feedback on the game. And they're asking the right questions. Hey, Aaron, if I had a maxed out blue pet that was for my build, and then I had a bad legendary pet, the blue pet would be, 100 times better. So would that be a pay to win mechanic? And I'm like, you're asking the wrong question. The question be like, if I had a maxed out legendary pet for my build and I had a maxed out rare pet for my build, what is that difference in power? But they're trying, they're reaching out, they're asking questions, maybe they're looking or kind of hunting to get the right answer, but ultimately they are trying, which feels really good from a studio. And you got to remember, if you have not watched my Torchlight Infinite customization video, there is like 7 different systems that give your character power. And pets is only one of those systems. And you can still pull pets for in-game currency. Okay, so it's not like, this is a system that is only behind a paywall. Anybody can do it. So what I want to test out, and this is my plan for Torchlight Infinite, is I am not going to spend a cent on a pet, and I'm going to see if I can compete on the ladder. That's my goal.
That's your goal?
Can I compete on the competitive ladder without spending a cent on pets? And if I can't, then I can't, and we will find out. But
they're random.
That's
because you can't buy the pets you want.
Exactly.
Everything's random. Yeah.
They're random pets, just like Genshin
Yeah.
Impact's system.
It's a
So
gotcha.
it's gotcha. It's like, do you bite into that? Are you going to keep going fishing, or are you going to accept what you have and just play with what you have, like you would typically in an ARPG like Diablo or whatever? You get what you find. So I guess it just depends on how like winning is important to you, right? Where versus having fun during playing the game. So at least that's how I approach it. I kind of take the mentality I've had with all these old ARPGs and just apply them to when I play Undecember. Like, well, I didn't find it. Oh well, I'll just keep playing it. If the game gets boring, I'll just stop playing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I never feel like this game is the one I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars on. This one. No.
So, what is that? Part. So Undecember, pay to win game. We don't know, but we do know. The cash shop is not out yet, so we can't see it. Based upon what history has told us about Undecember, you can spend real money to basically purchase stuff inside the auction house, which means you can buy anything you want. So, but that's not official.
Yeah, we don't really.
It's not
Speculation at
that's
this point.
speculation.
Yeah.
We got a week until we'll find out for sure. Less than a week.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what else was there to? There was something else in TLI that was paid for. Oh, your respecs, your respec currency. You ran out, remember?
I mean, I never
think at
died, so I
level
don't remember.
80.
No, your
Oh
respec.
yeah, respec.
80. It wasn't like level 75 or 85. You had to pay for
So
it.
this is interesting. In
One
Torchlight
of those.
Infinite, once you go over level 75, respec is ridiculously expensive for in-game currency. Okay, you can change anything on any character at any point for free instantly. But once you hit 75, you better have that build locked in.
I mean, honestly, by level 74, don't you think you'd have a pretty good idea what your character's doing?
But for example, yeah,
Like, how impactful is that going to be?
but for example, in Undecember, right?
Right.
This is a game that never resets. So if I'm level 89 and now I don't want to be sentries, I want to be a berserker.
Sure.
I'm not going to start another
Change your
character.
skills and your weapon.
Yep. But I'm still going to have to respec my Zodiac, respec my mastery points.
Yeah.
Right. So there's going to be stuff like that.
There might be some things that work with the same Zodiac, because I noticed the Zodiac was kind of like, add more damage, add more resistance.
Right.
I'm wondering how complex the Zodiac chart. And I know that's not what it's called, but that's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
It is called Zodiac. Wait.
Is it called the Zodiac? It is.
It's a Zodiac.
Yeah. I wonder how complex it will be later on. Also, will there be some variant of the Paragon system once you hit max level? Because if it never resets.
It's not that big if you back it out. Like,
Oh yeah. It's not as big as Grim Dawn's.
right. I'm looking
I
at the
don't
entire
believe it
thing
is.
right now.
Yeah, and this is one thing I will tell you about the passive tree in Undecember is, yes, there's a trillion options, but for example, I'm going Sentry, so I have no options. If I'm going
Like
Sentry,
one out of every
if I go
other
Sentry,
branch.
I'm going this one. If I go Sentry, I'm going this one. It might as well be, a pathed system, because
now
for the most
that's
part,
the
I'm going to
same
be
thing
doing
in
the same
TLI.
thing.
There's certain things that are auto includes in TLI if you're going sentries, or if you're going name build, because they're not, each tree has only certain things on it.
Sir, I am a divine shot inside of Torchlight. Don't talk to me about that commander stuff. Okay, I'm
listen here,
I'm a
sir.
divine shot.
People actually listen to me as a commander, Mr. Loner over here.
Dude, do you know how fast I fly through that game as a divine shot? I was like,
Probably quick.
I literally put like 30 level. We were close in level, and then I got 30 levels ahead of you because I could just literally zip through the whole game. I play all RPGs solo, so I don't care about others. There's a lot of people like that. I've read a lot of people in Last Epoch like, we don't give a crap about multiplayer. Continue to develop the single player game. And they like it that it's offline. Continue to develop the single player offline game, you know?
Well, I think the offline is going to be like just a safe sanctuary, where the other one is leagues, or cycle. So, you know, some people, I'm on the fringe. I'll probably play the cycles personally, so I can play with you guys and stuff. So, but typically I don't know. Even in Path of Exile, I do the same thing. I do play the site or the leagues. So. Yep. But part of me is like, okay, we're playing standard, which is everything that we considered cool that we've added to our leagues. We'll put in the standard league. That's cool, but it has a different life to it. The game itself feels kind of, well, it's kind of like stale version of the game, where the other one's more vivid and, you know, moving with new players and constant things. So I'm wondering how that'll be in Last Epoch, right? How are they going to have the cycle crew, the standard crew, like the people who are just kind of like, is it going to be a big enough like community to fill the both?
It's a good question.
Good question.
It is.
Angwar made a good statement that kind of, and Stealthy kind of popped in on this too, but Angwar is like the difference in pay to win between DI and Undecember is you can't get better gear in DI without crests. True. But in UD, you will get better gear from drops. Also true. If the pay to win in UD only affects PvP, who cares? Pay to win is in DI affects your entire progression. That is a big deal. And I would agree with him 100%, which is, leaving out the fact that it's engineered to make you want to give them everything. But Stealthy's like, I only play solo, so I don't care. So there's that other option that we're leaving out, like solo play.
But which
game is the solo play game?
But I don't know. From everything I've read in Undecember, you want to spend money because the curve of difficulty is so great, almost to the point where you get stuck. So from that aspect, it's worse. So and again, it all depends on like where you count end game at. I spent zero, not 1 cent on Diablo Immortal, not even the 99-cent 800% off. Right. And obviously level 60, max level, beat the entire campaign, got through all the first end game mechanics, got to Paragon level 9, and then I stopped. So in Diablo Immortal, I didn't need to spend a cent to get through the whole thing. And so far, obviously, I can't spend a cent in Undecember, not that I would, but I'm being told I might need to.
During my Diablo Immortal review, I actually spent money because that's clearly what they intended you to do. And my review was based off of that. In this, when it releases and I can see what it is, and I will see what I'm going to come back to it when it, tells me what it is. I don't know if they're going to be identical. Like I can't see a company making the same mistakes. I can't see that. If it happens, I will be very, very surprised.
Stealthy said, I'm so sick of this crap. I love Torchlight Infinite and Undecember. I think I'm going to refuse to play either. I don't want to support that crap. That's why our hope is in Last Epoch. That's our last bastion of a soul, a game of soul. That's years away.
That is, I will say that's, in the future. Like Last Epoch seems like a nice place, and playing on the CT right now, it's from the difference from playing the standard release. I'll say it's quite the upgrade in many ways. It's not like, oh, it's super coolest game ever. They just fixed so much of the game. Like,
dude, I'm gonna buy every cosmetic in Last Epoch too. I'm gonna buy every single one.
I'll get some of them if they look good.
I've already got this like stupid idea for a video series like LE fashion show, and anytime they release a new cosmetic, I'll make like an LE fashion show video. I know it sounds stupid.
Catwalk.
That's literally where
You
my
gotta
like
find an area
brain.
for catwalk.
Angwar says LE will be our salvation. I like truly think that because
It's good.
it's so good. It's gonna have multiplayer. It's gonna have trading. It's gonna have in-house trading. The loot filter's already good. It's
Yeah.
building endgame system. It's got a new endgame system. It's releasing skills, respec. Like it's got the fun factor. They're working on visuals. And again,
It's also got the mystery factor of the new classes that we're still waiting
I know,
for.
and they have not been able to be forward thinking since me and Daft have been playing. The entire
Yeah.
process to where they are at, it's always like, oh, we promised this. Crap, we better go make that. Oh my gosh, that golem was part of a $5,000 pack we bought 5 years ago. It's the ugliest asset
What
in the
is
game.
this, Star Citizen?
Let's go. We got to get rid
So
of that.
true.
You know, like there's just so
horrible.
once
right,
the game
I
is
got-
done, it'll be great.
Aaron,
Yeah.
best guess to what the drop rate on your unique is. I made this point in Twitter like,
Whoa.
what, 2 months ago, and Harry
Is
and crew jumped on me.
do we
But
know
I'm going to
if
break
the
down
location?
some math for you.
Is it
Just
a
because
location
it's
drop?
ridiculously
Or
hard to
random?
drop doesn't mean someone that's got 14 hours in game won't get it.
Let me see if I could find the drop rate on my new unique. Wait, was that
Thunder Sphinx.
wait, does that
Aaron
actually
has
matter?
Unique
is that
in
actually
last epoch that's coming in soon.
let me look at it. Oh my gosh, just looking at it makes me so happy. Let's see.
Of course, we've been talking about and developing it for what 6-7 months now.
About a year. It's been 8 months.
No, I don't. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't have a drop rate with it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so there's 3 rare tags. Rare, very rare, and extremely rare. It's not going to have the extremely rare tag. I would guess rare.
Okay.
Maybe it would be.
So
It might.
mid end game.
It might be very rare. It would be like finding like a Wings of Argentus or something like that.
Right.
I do know the level requirement for it.
Can you cough it out to us? Just knock on your desk
No, it's fine.
and then
It's-
leave a space.
They
and then
wouldn't.
leave
They
the-
won't care. It's my unique. I don't care. It's 75.
Yeah.
Level requirement will be
Yeah,
75.
that's what we thought. That's what we thought it would be.
75.
75.
I might get some characters up there.
75. 75 acolyte only. Okay.
Is it dropping
Right.
in a specific like zone or is it a global?
Yeah, they didn't tell you that, did they?
It will. You will be able to target farm it, not from a
Okay.
boss though. So do you know how it'll be
Okay,
like?
right.
Go to this monolith,
Region.
and then when you go to
Right.
like a set or unique drop, you could farm it that way.
How long did it take us to? About a month going
Yeah, it
back
took a
and
long time.
forth.
Yeah, it was about
Yeah.
a month of
Every day, almost.
conversations with the 3 of us, and then communicating over to the team over at Last Epoch, back and forth. Aaron would go and he'd go, no, yes. Oh, okay, and then we'd re-script it, and yeah, it was several weeks of that specifically, which was
The
fun. It was fun.
Stuff that we thought was the most outlandish, that would be an absolute no, is the stuff they gave him.
Yeah, I know it
That
really
is
is.
true.
It is true. I would say that it is a game-changing unique, which would mean like if you wanted to run this build, you would have to have this item. It will be an item like that. If you want to run a Golemancer,
Yeah,
you have to have this item. If you want to have multiple golems,
Yep.
you have to have this item.
not mini golems, but full golems.
I know. I always have to like, yeah, say that. It's not like your golems are cut in half. It's not like you got a little ones. It's like you have
No,
4 full golems.
And
Which-
the golem right now that I'm using is nice. Just the newer, there's an updated version of the golem in the CT. It's not super different, but it's graphically it's different. The skill tree is a little different, not too much though, right, Aaron?
No, the skill
Oh,
tree
you
is
haven't-
pretty much all new.
No, it's very similar. They've just kind of moved things around.
I mean, there's all
Yeah,
new
things
golems
are
on it.
shifted. Yeah,
There's-
there's stuff that didn't exist before.
Yes.
There is a little bit of
Okay,
new
I'm sorry.
stuff, but they kind
The
of
golem. So golem has an entirely new aesthetic. You know what? I wonder if I could pull it up and cover one of your guys' faces.
hatred.
Do I want to do this on screen?
Can you do that?
Yeah,
Can he?
I can
He
do
will.
anything. Yeah,
I mean, technically you can. Should you?
I can do anything. You can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. He's like, I'm not very good singing. And now our background of the stream is a new golem.
Yeah.
You didn't think I could do that,
Ew.
do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, wait. Let's see
Kind
if
of
I can.
mostly covered though,
Yeah, that doesn't work.
unless Gollum is
There's
guilty
his-
and daft.
Face, kinda.
Yeah, join that Discord. Come hang out if you're not a part of it. I know
There.
a lot of people here are
Guilty,
in it,
your
but-
face is golem. Here it is. Look at that. Undaba.
Yeah, the new Gollum.
Lady Medusa
Sweet.
says you can't sing. You butchered that song.
I can do
Which,
anything
oddly
better
enough,
than
Cecilia
you.
said the same thing when you were. What were you singing?
I don't know. I
She
can't sing. I'm
she
not.
heard you from across the room and said, "What is he doing?"
This picture doesn't give it justice. That like where you see the skulls on that kind of like faceplate. It looks pretty sick. It's kind of like a bumper on a car because there's a 3D element when you're playing. So that little part looks pretty sweet. Yeah, right there, Garrett. Yeah,
Right there.
it does look sweet. That's one of my new favorite parts of the Golem is that headpiece.
But I wanna damn NDA. This picture I can show. Okay, I have legal authority to show off this image. Okay, I don't know how we got on this topic, but anyways, for last Epoch on the new update 090 or in the current CT, you will have a refreshed golem tree with new golems. You will have an entirely made from scratch new asset that actually moves and attacks differently. And this is what it will look like. It
The
kind of
leap attack.
it kind of runs like a bear. Have you noticed that? It kind of like runs.
Yes.
It doesn't like stand on both
Yeah, I
legs
know.
anymore.
It does
Right,
like
it's
the
kinda
the
hulky.
bear four thing gallop.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, not only do you get the refresh tree, not only do you get the new asset, not only do you get the new golems, you also have My Unique, which ties it all together if you wanted to have multiple golems. And the first thing I'm going to try is to see if we can make a golem build where they do the damage. Golems have never been a
Be
damage
nice.
dealer.
Two
They're a
Golem
damage
builds in a
taker.
party.
Yeah, that would be great.
Imagine that. The amount of like
All right, get out of here,
party
picture.
reflection.
Oh, guilty.
After I tested.
Guilty, your face is back. You were a golem for a while.
Well, that's fine. It's fine. Gath and I tested. It's super smooth with minions.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
multiple minion builds.
I had an all minion party with the Necro, so I had a bunch of skeletons, a bunch of caster skeletons. I had my Golem, and the volatile zombies as well. Totally smooth with Guilty, who was playing a druid. You had
I was running Spriggan.
right? Yeah, and he has minions, so all the minions ran super smooth. There was no lag between us. It was actually I
It's
was
good.
impressed. Yeah,
It was very, very refreshing.
it was.
It made
'Cause
me
you're
think
waiting.
that everything they told us for the last 6 months was true.
That's great. I mean, isn't that
Yeah.
what you want them to be?
Aaron could be
Yes.
there. You guys could yell at him. He could be playing with us so we could test it 3-player wide.
No, he is. He's going to make his last build guide and he's going to come
will.
and play with us.
That's
And
right.
He's going to be like, please give me stuff.
So you got to
And he
remember
played-
that for the longest time, the only game I streamed was Last Epoch. A lot of stuff going on in the background. I'm being a good steward of the game, and it is my favorite. Now that I've got Undecember, now that I have Torchlight Infinite, now that I have Last Epoch CT, hopefully NDA lifts, there's going to be lots of different games and variety of stuff that we can play, which I think is going to be great. You know, for a long time, it's like, oh, let's stream Anvil and let's stream these other types of games. I kind of want to get more consistent where I'm only streaming games inside of the genre that I cover. And some people agree or disagree with that, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of good stuff. I know for sure Friday is going to be last Epoch day. Every Friday, and I'm gonna power level Peeps. Haven't decided who.
Are you so super largely that you're going to be way far ahead of us? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously.
I mean, it's
No,
probably...
he's going to be relying on us doing all the work.
I just need to get you to the you got to get me to the monolith, and then once I'm there, I don't need you guys anymore.
So yeah, you guys are useless.
Angwar, Aaron and I will be streaming some LE when NDA lifts. That's right. Angwar found the hitman. He's on the list. So did Daft. Daft, Angwar, and someone else. I got it written down.
So you have to give Daft something else because he was already on that list.
Yeah, Daft. He doesn't care.
He needs like a day at the spa.
No, Daft gets to play CT, so that's why. That's one of the games.
Aaron, I have 2 wins.
True. Yeah, and one of yours is CT last Epoch. That's one of your wins. Stealthy said that no impact melee just feels weird. He was talking about how combat in last Epoch doesn't feel good, which is true. And that is something. That is something that they have worked on a lot. Every enemy combat sequence and death animation has been completely redone for 090. Every single one. Now, this will be to the untrained eye or to the person not paying attention. Sometimes you won't notice, but again, you kill an enemy with fire, they will die with fire. You can decapitate people. You have finishing moves. It's like Mortal Kombat. So combat feel is a lot better.
Remember we were talking about corpse detonation? Why they wouldn't do it?
Yeah.
That's why.
Combat feel?
No. When they die, their body there's an animation that kills their body.
Oh, yeah.
Away. It doesn't spawn a little meat
sack
that's on the ground that turns into something that blows up.
Yeah.
Because they were working on fancy, and it, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you will notice a difference, Stealthy, as far as combat feel in last Epoch.
If you aren't in the CT, I was asking if you were, but if you're not, it's all been upgraded. It feels a little more impactful. I think it's class dependent, obviously, because a magic caster with minions is going to have a certain feel of that versus a melee character who's up in the mix. So, but it feels overall a lot more polished, and it feels a little more like you're in the world.
I'm around
super smooth.
Super smooth. Rich is now level 70 in the CT.
No. So that's fantastic.
Wow. Way past
but Rich has been playing since when you were.
No. He just got in.
No, he was a Kickstarter. He's been playing LE for like years.
But the CT he got in late. The CT he got in late.
Yeah,
he got in. An expert. I think last week maybe.
He's got an edge in that he knows what he's doing.
You can. I mean, like it just depends on player style. Like I kind of like cruise through these games, and I try to develop the characters personally, and like kind of not die. So I slowly progress through. If you don't care about that, you can fly through the game. You're just.
I mean, literally, I just
look at that. He's got 3 over 50 right now.
I think I have my one Necro, and she's 82, but that's all I have.
But think about it. When I switched over to make a squirrels build, I think I streamed it once, maybe twice. And I took that Beastmaster
twice.
I took that Beastmaster from level 60 to like 88 or something like that. I mean, it doesn't take crazy long. Again, if you're not listening to anyone and you're just running through and you're just literally as fast as humanly possible, like you will level fast. Also, if you are a minion character, you also level faster because they clear the whole screen.
But Aaron, there's no pet targeting right now. It's a little bit more difficult.
No, it's
in
fine.
CT. Pet targeting is in the game. It just is not in this build.
It's not in the build, so it makes the whole pet build a little more chaotic, obviously, because think about it, Aaron. You can't tell it to focus on the boss. It goes and kills the minions that it's spawning that you don't care about.
Oh, so like
You
Emperor
can't
of
control
Corpses sucks.
You're right. Right. So you can't. So a minion build right now is like, that's what I was talking about. I learned how to minion like rubber band my character, because you have to literally lead with your main character to kind of get the aggro on them who you want, right? Like,
So
kill him, run yourself in there and risk dying, and then pull yourself out, and then the minions stick to it, right? So
Yep.
it's changed the way I've played it. It'll add to my like versatility when we have the like release, because I'll be able to do the suicide kind of runs, or just the targeting with my attack that. So I mean, it's good, but it is different. I'll say that.
Stealthy had an idea.
Oh, I already read it, and I knew you were gonna say something, and I just want to block my face.
What if ARPGs didn't have those really long, ridiculous stories that Guilty doesn't pay attention to anyway?
They're not really
that's-
long.
Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. No,
I mean, you can
you're
click
good.
through it.
Okay, so recently I was in a conversation with Aaron, and it's like, why not do an ARPG roguelike or a light even, and
Right.
just eliminate the story? Because I only care in an ARPG. This is just me. I only care about the mechanics. I only care about the builds. I don't care about any narrative at all. Now, if you do, that's great, and that's where you're getting your narrative. Awesome. But I think that's a good idea. Stealthy had the same idea I had. Saying,
Gosh.
there's a market for it. There's a market for it, Aaron.
He brings this up
Yeah, sure.
every stream. Imagine PoE, but your character level 1 doesn't start on the beach. It starts at mapping. And you go there and you just start mapping.
Playing.
Yeah, that would be great. Or maybe not necessarily
I mean-
mapping, but something. Maybe like multiple end game mechanics. And you can choose.
I mean, it really
You
is a
get
good
your
idea. But it
equipment
wouldn't be a
from running that.
roguelike. It would be a light. It'd be like a roguelite. Your
Yeah,
character
yeah. I mean,
progresses with no
Right.
story.
Maintains a progression.
That's basically what it is.
I don't know, from
It'd
a
be
developer
fantastic.
point of, like, Guilty for you as a developer, from your point of view, how does that feel? Like, would
It
you
feels
rather?
great because I don't write stories.
I know. Okay,
I'm a system
All right.
developer.
sure. Like, how much of the weight goes into the initial part that probably at least
Okay.
60% of the community will play?
So
The other
okay.
40% are like the the deep players. It's just one of those things. Where do you put your development points? Like, are you putting all in on your beginning? Are you just making a cool beginning and then putting all in on your end game? I guess as a developer team, that's kind of like got to be a focus, right?
Wait, before you answer that, okay?
All right.
I think these ARPGs, specifically Last Epoch, they want to come out with lore books. They have a lore master. They want to build upon the story. They want every item to be in world. They want every MTX to be in world. They want the flavor text to be in world on the items. Like, they are
That's
trying, to build their own thing, right? In some games care about that, some don't.
Right.
Wait, before you say anything, Guilty. Bush said, in Last Epoch, it's damn long campaign. In Undecember, it's crazy long. Now, in Undecember, I'm okay with the crazy long campaign because I will only ever have to play it once. Because your character never resets. And since it's a classless game, technically you would never have to make an alt. So for the example of Undecember, you should actually play the campaign super slow. You should listen to the story. You should listen to the lore. You should talk to the NPCs. And then as you progress through, you're done forever. Guilty, go. I'm done.
I mean, to answer what you should do that if you want to experience whatever the story is they're telling. For me, specifically in ARPGs, I don't care about the story. I might play through the story once and then just skip it every other time. But there is a going on to what Daft said earlier. When they developed the original Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo, the last level that they made was the first level you played, because they had to teach people how to play the game without teaching them how to play the game, like without telling them word for word,
Right.
this is what you do, this does this, and this does that. They placed the blocks a certain distance apart so that when you jump, you would most likely hit a certain block, see that it gives you a coin, and then smash the mushroom Koopa thing at the same time. The first level was meticulously crafted to teach you how to play. And then every other subsequent level where you would have to know something new, the first thing you experienced was meticulously crafted so that you would learn by playing. They could do that just as easily in an ARPG, or maybe not easily, but they could do it. It can be done. And that's why I don't think we need the narrative to teach. We don't need 40 hours of gameplay to learn how to play the game.
Okay, here's my
How quickly did you learn Mario?
Here's my thought, okay? And this just dawned on me. In a few days, I am going to try and be competitive on the Torchlight Infinite ladder, okay?
Okay.
Could I be competitive if I followed the story?
Of course. I mean, if you want to follow a story, follow a story.
No. If I stopped and talked to everybody in town and I listened and read all the NPCs and I didn't cut through the cutscenes, would I be as competitive?
You'd have to put more time in. Like
Yeah,
whatever you lost watching it, which
if you
probably wouldn't
dedicate
be
the
that
extra
much.
hours, right?
If you've got millions of players playing and you're like, I'm going to go eat lunch. You're ranked 300. You're done eating lunch. You're ranked 2,000. You know what I mean? Like, in these games, when you are trying to be competitive on a popular game, you cannot stop playing and you cannot stop progressing for even a second. So me pausing to go through at sometimes, and this is not me being hyperbolic, sometimes 12, 15 different NPCs talking to me and reading to me and side quests and all this crap. If you are truly trying to get enthralled in the story for the first time, you can't be competitive. Unless you are like 24 hours, like sitting down.
Putting time in.
Yes. Sorry.
So when we
that's true,
started
though.
playing Torchlight Infinite, you and I were top 6 on the Asian server.
Yeah, I remember chatting about that.
Yeah, well, we got screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm the best. So, I mean,
He was better. He made it to 4.
3. I made it to 3. And I was number 1 for my class. Sorry, go
Yeah,
on.
I was number 1 for my class. The day after that happened, we were still like, we were expecting it to happen quick, that we'd get replaced. It was multiple days before that got replaced. When the North American server opened up, because we had the game on the Asian server prior to everybody, it drastically changed. We were like so far behind, so and it didn't seem like that many hours had passed. So I think you can probably watch every cutscene in that game and still be competitive.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, it depends on the pacing of the player's base, right? How
Yeah,
popular it is. That's obviously going to have an impact. So
The cutscenes aren't very, I don't know, like 5 minutes max.
Hey, Red Eye, thank you for the sub. I owe you a hat flip. And I just added you to the wheel. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. We are at 1 hour and 33 minutes into this podcast. And unless you guys have anything else, or there is any other questions, I think that's going to do it. I love it when there's so much to talk about. We don't have to have, okay, section 1. Let's talk about Hero Siege. Everyone's playing it. Section 2, let's talk about Undecember. Daph's like, oh, I want to talk about Hero Siege. I love Hero Siege. But I know. But ultimately, really good conversation as always, guys. Daph, sorry we started a little late. Me and Guilty were having a little too much fun on Undecember.
Well, if I had a character, I could have been invited.
I have to clear every section of the map and kill all the people so I can click on the green flashy lights.
No, it's not that.
No, that's what I'm doing.
Started a
Yes,
character.
that's what that was my
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's true.
fine.
I'm sorry, Daft. I mean, actually, I didn't invite you. I think I told Guilty last night on stream, like, if you get something to Act 4, we'll play. And he's like, you already told me when I told him this morning. I don't know what was happening last night. It was 1 a.m.
Yesterday, I was supposed to be streaming with you, and I didn't play the game at all.
Yeah, that's what happened. I told Guilty, hey, just get to Act 2. You just got to beat Act 1, and we'll play through the whole game together.
You know, if I knew, I would have leveled my character, but that's fine.
You don't have like a space you can sit all day, you know?
I
To
could.
be honest, Daft and I were very reluctant.
Right.
You guys thought it was going to be just muy horrible because of Captain Neckbeard. It's okay, I get it.
No, we watched him play it.
So did I!
To what we have
I was there
different than what
too.
we have.
I was there
different
too.
Experience, yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I'm doing 1400 crits on my Fireball Ice Nova build. Nice. Daft,
Lady
all those
Medusa.
sentences are excuses. Yes.
Excuses.
Hey, by the way,
I gotta do things. What?
by the way,
Yeah.
recognition to Guilty and Daft. Your guys' audio tonight is the best it's ever sounded. As far as being level and not cutting in and out, your guys' audio, this is the best stream we've ever had.
Well, good.
Fantastic. That's good to know. I tinkered with it like while I was waiting, while you guys were playing Undecember alone. I sat here and I was like, well, I guess I'll tune my settings.
See, so it's a
While I
good thing
wait.
you didn't play because now you had better audio. Do we know if the Undecember
Yeah.
demo progress carries over? It does not. If the demo progress carried over, it wouldn't be a demo. It would just be the game release. It's just an idea for you to get a feel, to you get addicted before they launch the cash shop, for you to have the
That's what it
experience.
feels like.
It is. It's
Right.
exactly what it feels like.
It feels like you're into it. All right, let's start over and here you go. Oh,
You know,
Okay.
Stealthy's right. There was Square Enix had a game that the demo carried over. I think I'm pretty sure it did. It was it wasn't Octopath, was it? It might have been Octopath. I feel it wasn't.
I'd have to
But it
look.
was something
I
they
don't know.
did. Yeah.
Outriders. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I mean, it's the term beta alpha right
Outriders,
now is
yep.
kind of they exist and they are a thing, but they're more a selling point right now. So get it on the early alpha so you're super cool and involved in it. Get it on the beta because you're gonna, it's definitely a selling point.
I do have to think about it
Yeah.
in the worst possible light, that it's when does the game get super hard? Act 6, Act 7, and Act 8. Okay, let's give them the first 5 acts. That's literally days worth of content. They can learn all the systems that people love, right? The stars, the skill
Right.
system, gearing, crafting. They can see the visuals. They can fall in love with the game. And then when it releases, they'll get the curve of difficulty. And where will they come then? The cash shop.
Right.
Oh man, if that is true, that is just some nefarious, awful, evil mind tricks, but you would not be surprised.
Well, at least they're
Yeah.
not doing what Magic the Gathering. Remember that game?
Magic Legends.
Magic Legends had a very
Great game.
wrong
but,
system with a terrible monetization.
You know what? Magic
Backwards.
Legends might be up there with Diablo Immortal. No,
As
it's still
far
not
as-
as
could have.
it's still not as bad, but
Okay.
it is
No,
terrible.
They didn't have the pool, so it wasn't as nefarious as Diablo was because they knew they would get everybody on the planet playing their game. The Magic one was like, we're not ready, but look,
I
pay
know.
for the game, and it just didn't work.
So Magic the Gathering has what we call real world whales with physical things they buy.
Right.
I mean, if you're paying or playing is it a beta or alpha or unlimited, if you're playing tournaments with those cards and they don't allow proxies, spending several $1,000s at minimum.
You got to go get that
Right.
Black Lotus. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do.
Yep.
Podcast, we're at 3 hours for the stream. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes on the podcast. This is what I want to do. We do have a giveaway today. I'm giving away a free copy of Striving for Light. Keep forgetting the name of it. It is a new rogue-like on Steam. Okay?
I did see it.
Yes.
I haven't checked
And
it out yet.
as long as you are following this channel, this is your warning. Type in !giveaway onto
Okay.
the chat. Okay? Takawaka. Yeah, it's more like baiter. See, he thinks that Undecember's baiting us. Okay?
Could be.
I mean, it makes logical sense what they're doing, right? I mean,
No, I can't say for sure it is because then I'd be lying. Feels that way.
it does feel that way. Also, why couldn't they open the shop so we can see it, but just not allow transactions? Because they don't want you to see it. You know that it's done. You know that it's
That's where my
decided.
head-
It's in the system. It's done. They just don't want you to see it. Dude, there's a lot of people getting in the giveaway. Get in the giveaway.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll say
Nice
the
roguelike.
giveaway will end once this heist is over.
To
Heist
surprise you, the filth. Yes, Rich.
to surprise you
Yes.
with, yeah. Oh gosh. All right. Remember, everyone can enter. Only followers can win. It's so weird how Streamlabs does that. Anybody can enter. Only followers can win.
Right.
Literally,
Not
it's like
quite.
a tick box, like followers. So make sure you click follow on this channel. I need a game that isn't pay to win that can keep my attention. Maybe Diablo 4 for you. Because I know you have.
Dawn.
No, he's
Dawn.
got thousands of hours into all those games. He's saying, I need a new
Okay.
action RPG that
New
is
one.
not
Oh,
pay to
new.
win. It's likely going to be D4 for stealthy.
That's an MMO.
Yeah, it
You could
is.
I mean, if you've done you could go Titan Quest. Good series.
Yeah,
I
Titan
don't
Quest
know if
has
you
new,
played
new
it.
stuff. Yeah,
I
you
like
might have
Titan
played
Quest.
1,000 hours in Titan Quest. They have a new DLC.
Yeah.
Oh, Minesweeper Online. That's a good one. I'm going to get Minesweeper Online.
What else? There was another one that had new stuff.
Oh,
Oh, D2R has the new ladder stuff, but I'm sure he's played that.
D2R.
Grim Dawn
Yeah.
Season 4 was fun, Rich says.
Grim Dawn.
Oh, you can go play Sloremancer.
Warmancer, yeah.
new.
They-
Ish.
Well, no, it's not new,
New
but I mean, they
stuff.
released a new area and
Mhm.
Yeah, Striving for Light. That's the key. Striving for Light.
He loved Titan Quest.
Who doesn't?
I mean, it was pretty good.
I mean, it's cool. You know, you get your whole like
It's pretty good.
Greek Roman kind of like mythology.
And then when we
Well,
play
plus the
online,
Asian stuff they did in the new DLC.
and then me and Guilty running by 12 towns when my wife is behind getting murdered in the farm.
Right.
She was not happy.
Whoopsie.
Oh, she was the opposite of happy. Oh my goodness.
She's like, why do
Pretty
you
much.
play like that? It's not fun. Like, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I
Can't help it.
don't know what's wrong with me. All right. And
did you play the new stuff
no,
for Titan Quest?
I did not.
You
I don't.
thought you? No, yeah, you did. You got paid to stream it.
Oh, Embers Adrift. Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the Chinese, Asian, whatever
Or-
it was.
yeah.
They had dragon stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. THQ Nordic signed me to be the Steam streamer for Embers. Yeah, that was cool. Okay. 15-second warning. As long as you're following the channel, type in !giveaway right now. This is it. Final warning. I won't say it again. Do 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 do
Night,
do.
Angwar.
Night
Peace
you.
out, sir. Have a good night.
You
Okay.
look at the painting behind Aaron there, off to his left. Angwar painted that for the channel.
Very nice oil painting.
Oh,
Yep.
it's so pretty. Okay, and time is over. Here we go. I am closing entries right now. Entries are now closed. You can no longer enter. And the winner of a free Steam key, Striving for Light. Please don't be guilty or daft. Please don't be guilty.
That would be horrible.
Please don't be
If
guilty or
it
daft.
is one of us,
Why
give
do
it
you
to
guys
someone
enter?
else.
You shouldn't even enter.
I didn't enter.
And the winner
That was
is Fierce. Fierce. I'll give it to Fierce.
Fierce.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We know Fierce. Fierce is the best gamer in our Discord. Yes.
Probably.
Fierce, congratulations.
Pretty close.
You are a winner. Congratulations. Good. It gives me a reason to DM Fierce. All right, everybody. That's going to do it. This Week in Action, podcast 34 is in the books. Now, what we are going to do, if you are unaware, is on Wednesday nights, we always film this podcast for 90 minutes. And then we have a bonus hour. A bonus hour of this podcast comes on Patreon. See, here we are pay to win, or I guess pay to progress, okay? We lock that content behind a paywall. I'm sorry.
We have no souls.
We have no souls.
That's not how I see it.
That's how it is. You get 90 minutes for free, and then the other hour is for our Patreons only. So all the likes, all the shares, all the subscriptions, all the follows, all the comments, all of that is absolutely appreciated, and I really mean it. I respond to every
Aaron's
comment.
YouTube channel is brought to you by you.
That is true. I respond to every comment on YouTube. I try to respond to every ping on Discord. I am here for the community. But if you want to support and take that one step further, check out the Patreon. It is linked in the chat. It is linked on every YouTube video, and it is inside of Discord. We have a weekly blog post, weekly podcast bonus hour. You get into the special VIP chat in the Discord. You get a special title and lots of other goodies. So check out the Patreon. You've all heard the spiel because I say it on every YouTube video. But that's all we've got. I'm going to give the final word to Daft tonight before I hit the stream ending button, because me and Guilty, and really it was me because I didn't invite him, we ditched Daft over the last few days. We played games, we interacted, we had fun, and he wasn't even invited. I could at least given him the invite knowing that he couldn't do it because we were too far ahead, because then I wouldn't have felt like a jerk. But I didn't even do that. And I'm sorry. So you get the final word.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. For the love. It's been great. And don't worry about them. They'll figure it out soon. So good night, all.